stream the meeting. I
Oh,
hope I would know.
I know, right?
I hope I would be aware of that.
No,
Starting everything you never wanted to know. Liveshow 6. All right. Good deal.
good deal. What'd you
We're
get?
live.
Hi,
Hi.
welcome to my house.
I'm getting better at this. Welcome to my humble abode. Look how beautiful. So
It
many plants I have to take care
looks
of.
just like it did last time I saw
I know. Isn't that amazing? I keep it so perfectly pristine.
it. And my house looks kind of like it did when I bought
Here
it.
we go.
Yep. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Bill. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little
same.
tired. I've been tired lately.
Yeah.
Lately, I mean, since I turned 80. Uh,
So never?
I started getting tired like 6 months ago. I don't
Hmm.
know. And now I'm just freaking, I have no energy. But as my friend pointed out, been exercising 2 hours a day and that'll wear you out. And
Yep.
so
It's kind of funny for me when I started working out. Like my body knows when I haven't been working out because it won't let me sleep unless I do. It's weird. Like
no,
if I go through like a time period where like I do like I'll work out for like a good
2 days.
like consistency. And then I'll have like a day or two. Well, it's normally like after 2 or 3 days. If I'm not going to the gym, then my body will be like up just at night, just like going, and my body will feel all tense. So like I need to actually exert that energy in order to even sleep. It's wild.
That's interesting. If I can get to the point where it's harder for me not to work out than it is to work out, then I get all agitated too if I don't work out. But it's not, I don't carry that in my body, I don't think. Maybe it's just in my head. But
Yeah.
that's a really cool watershed moment, when you're trying to get something going and you're doing it consistently, and then all of a sudden you realize, or maybe it's not even all of a sudden, maybe it's 2 weeks after it's already become a habit, you realize, oh man, I gotta squeeze that in today.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because as a woman, I have to plan my workouts around my cycle. And this is a fun fact for all those who work out and deal with their mental health.
Like you're talking, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're talking about if it's raining, you can't get to the gym because it.
No, I'm talking about my menstrual cycle.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Because there are many phases within it that you can actually your muscle density decreases actually at certain phases in your menstrual cycle, so you're not able to put up as much weight or like do as much as you normally would. So that definitely plays into working out and stuff. So if you are somebody who exercises and are going through that, it is not just you. It is a thing that does actually happen. I can put up maybe, so I can leg press around 90 pounds when I'm in a good phase. But then I can only do about 60 when I'm close to or around my period time. So very interesting stuff that.
Could you still lift a car off a baby?
I mean, that's just pure adrenaline. So potentially, I don't know. Probably not. I don't think that there would ever be a time in which I would even be able to do that, but who knows? I might have superhuman strength. I've just never been able to have that opportunity to use it.
I'll tell you what, if I was driving somewhere and I saw you pick a car up, it would blow my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how many babies were under it. That would be, that'd
I'm trying
be,
to get stronger. My arms are actually getting a lot stronger. I'm really impressed with myself. I used to be very like obsessive over the way that my body looked and like I didn't want it to look musclier. But now that I'm starting to become more musclier, I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. I dig this now. This is kind of cool. So,
that's good to hear. I like hearing that because that's a really good feeling for you.
yeah,
That's
I will say the gym bros were right. And I hate to say it. I really do. It pains me to say it, but the gym bros were right. It really has been helping me all around, mental health, sleep, physical health. It even helps my OCD, which I didn't think anything would be able to help that, but it does. So,
I, I tell people sometimes I never came back from a walk or the gym and said that was a waste of time.
yeah. It's
Um,
hard too because you have to feel comfortable. Like it took me a very long time. It took me like a good 3 or 4 months to even get fully comfortable within my body to start like feeling and being comfortable with feeling the change in my heart rate, change in my body, change in like the blood pumping to your muscles. Like it was a really big adjustment because my OCD manifests in bodily sensations. So whenever I had a certain bodily sensation, like I could feel the blood pumping to my arm or to my wrist or to my legs or anything like that, or I started to feel a little dizzy because I was like pushing myself a little bit harder than I normally do. It was a huge adjustment and I really had to keep my OCD in check. And I really, really had to work hard at being okay with that and knowing that it was gonna be okay and that I wasn't gonna die, it wasn't gonna kill me. That all of these physical sensations were extremely normal, and it really helped me reconnect with my body in a very healthy way. So,
that's pretty cool experience because I never would have thought that happened to anybody. Um, I lost 40 or 50 pounds in the last year and I didn't feel any of that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't notice anything physically different. So you're carrying stuff a totally different way than I am.
Yeah, and I actually gained I gained around 20, 25 pounds in a year. Which is insane. Which is really insane. I went from being 105 to I average around 130 now, which is great for my height and
Yeah.
for my age range and for everything. It's very healthy. I was operating at a very like malnutrition, like not a good place because my OCD was so bad. I was like, and it was so rooted in bodily sensations that there was like so many foods I avoided, so many things I couldn't eat because my brain was telling me they were going to make me feel weird or they're going to affect me or whatever. Um, so there were so many things I was avoiding and using as a compulsive behavior to avoid, to mitigate the OCD feelings that, I was really, really struggling. Like I was tired all the time, like I had heart palpitations. There were so many things that were going on with me. And the gym really, 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 honestly, I would say helped all of that a lot. I still struggle with the food stuff, but I'm able to eat a lot more food than before because I have to eat more food now because I'm burning so many calories. I'm just hungry all the time, all the time. And what they don't tell you about the gym is how much laundry and groceries you're gonna go through when you start getting healthy.
Laundry for sure. Oh my God. I think I wash the same clothes 5 times a week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really funny because like at the start I didn't have very like I was going to the gym because I had no gym clothes in like sweatpants and a hoodie, which I don't have very many of. And so I was just cycling through my laundry so, so, so often. But then you buy more workout clothes and then you can, cycle through and it's a lot better. But yeah, it was definitely a really, really great thing that I personally never, ever, ever expected myself to do. I was one of those people that were like, you could never see me in a gym. Nope. Never expect to see me in a gym like hell will freeze over type beat like before you see me. And then here I am. It's a regular part of my recovery journey and thank God because it really did save my life.
Dude, that blows my mind too. I had no idea. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew the gym song, but I hadn't heard it like that. And yeah, no, I never would have thought. See,
Yeah.
yeah, oh my God.
Right? Isn't that so funny? Like I was like
Yeah,
very
I
uh,
could picture you hanging out with people that you would picture in a gym.
it's really funny too, because when I'm in there too, I'm a completely different person when I'm at the gym. It's so funny. Like I go in there and I just like harness all of my like rage and all of my like anything that I'm kind of dealing with, which some could argue might be a little bit unhealthy, but I just bring it with me to the gym and I let it all go there. And I really, really focus on it's really cool because when you do mind to muscle, um, it's really, really helpful to connect with your body in that like healthy way because all of my connections with my body previously have been OCD related, health related, endometriosis related, chronic illness related, right? Like they've been all been rooted in very negative kind of things. Um, But with exercise, it's really good because it brings such a positive correlation with your body. And so now, like, I'll feel exhausted and I'll feel these sensations in my body, and I'll be like, okay, it's just because I'm working hard on, at the gym on this part of my body or this part of my body. So it's a really positive reframe.
That's and also it's nice that you're being mindful about it because you have to take it to that next step and say, hey, what am I feeling and why am I feeling it? So good for you. And it's got to be a really good feeling to be able to identify those aches and that soreness and the tiredness and go, wow, that's actually something I could be proud of.
Yeah,
That's
because normally it's crap, my chronic illness, you know? Normally it's like, oh God, I'm exhausted again. But I have noticed that my chronic illness has got a little bit better as well since going to the gym. Just a lot of like many parts of my recovery journey have definitely improved with the gym. My closet, however, and all the jeans that I need to repurchase and my wallet definitely hurting.
get that. Um, yeah, it's a good example of how holistic mental health is.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I hold up my hands and I eat my hat because I was very much like, people would always say, excuse me. People would always say, "Oh, you have to make sure that your exercise and your diet is like key." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I have like so much trauma in my life. That's not even gonna touch any of that." Haha. Guess what? When you are, and I think this is a very important thing to say, is that when you are operating like I was from a place of um I wasn't even really meeting my own basic needs. So I was putting my body into like a stress response all the time because I wasn't exercising and I wasn't eating very well, right? These very basic things. Um, and by actually doing these basic things and like feeding myself as much as possible, which I know is really difficult for some people. So take this with your own journey. Um, but when I was able to kind of get myself to that baseline to where my basic needs were met and to where that exercise and that health were getting met, it then helped me better equip myself to actually handle the trauma stuff and handle the mental health stuff a lot better. Um, so that was just something that I noticed in my journey that I thought was really, really cool is that, pairing the exercise with a lot of trauma work and like EMDR and things like that. Um, has definitely been really, really, really helpful for my recovery journey.
I love those moments when you've been really adamant about about something. I mean, nope, 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 nope. And then you try and you have to go, oh, well, I'll be damned. Hmm.
Yeah, like, oh, they were right.
Yep.
Darn.
That's a good one. I mean, that's why, that's one of three hills we die on at work.
Yeah.
Size, nutrition, and sleep.
Hmm.
Gotta
Yep.
have, and you know what? They feed into each other, which is really
They
cool.
do. Because if I don't eat enough calories during the day, my brain will wake me up at 3 a.m. with racing thoughts. I will be going down the rabbit hole of every bad thing that's ever happened to me or every embarrassing moment that's ever happened to me or like whatever. And then I'll be like, gosh, just what is my mind doing? Like, what is wrong with me? And then my stomach will start growling. And I'll
Mhm.
be like, oh, I see. And I'll go and drink some water and have a bowl of cereal and I'll fall right back to sleep.
What kind of cereal?
Just depends on what I have. Right now my current cereal hyperfixation is Reese Puffs.
I never had that. Of course, it depends on what you have. I didn't picture you sneaking in your neighbor's window, stealing their cereal.
Well, sometimes it's Reese Puffs. Sometimes it's what's the other one that's in there?
Toast Crunch.
Yeah, how'd you know? Cinnamon
Every
Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes. It was a Special K with strawberries for a minute, which is very interesting and out of the box for me.
anymore. Last week we learned we can't say Eskimo. Can we say Special K?
I think that one's okay because it's a brand of
Oh,
cereal. That's
oh,
funny.
that's K when I see it.
What is your shirt? That is cute.
Narwhal.
With a narwhal jersey on. Is it a football player?
That's the mascot for the new school.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's the new school narwhals.
That is so cute. I love that. Oh my God, that's adorable.
You put a bunch of designers together, and this is what you come up with. But I love it. I mean,
Honestly,
where else you can
amazing.
get a narwhal shirt? So
That's
if I walk
incredible.
into Bradley Cooper, he'll go, and I'll go, yep.
Yep.
Um,
Oh.
Good for you for working out. So in the very beginning, did you understand what I was saying when you crossed that threshold from, oh fuck, I gotta work out today to, oh shit, I gotta make sure I get that in. That's a
Yeah.
good like that.
Yeah. It is definitely an interesting experience because I'll feel myself be tense and like I'll feel my body like needing that exertion and I'll feel like all the stress building up in my life to where like I need to get it out in some sort of way.
Hmm.
Um and I'll be like, "Dang, I really like I have to go to the gym." And now I look forward to it. I mean, sometimes I don't because, it's just one of those things that like it's really good for you and once you're there, you're like, "Oh, good." But then, you know, getting there is the hardest part. But once you walk through the door, I'm like, all right, okay, I'm in that mode. But
And what
getting in the car, getting dressed, all that kind of, well, getting dressed and then getting in the car. You're not going to get dressed in the car, but well, depending on who you are, who knows?
for yourself? Um, so getting there, what else could you apply that to in life, Amanda?
You're literally anything, mainly your recovery too. I've Pavloved myself actually. That's what I did with the gym is I Pavloved myself in the beginning. Every time I would go to the gym, you know how people do like pre-workout or whatever. I do a like sugary coffee, like a nice sugary like, and so
So
I
you can get
knew,
rid of it, the
but
calories?
no, like I know that if I go to the gym, I'm gonna get coffee. And
Oh,
I love coffee. So it
yeah.
was my reward. Like this is the treat that you get before you go to the gym. So
That's good.
if you get to go, like you also get coffee. Like if you go to the gym, that means you also get coffee. So you should go to the gym. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So the gym was just another reason for me to get coffee. And I Pavloved myself like so well that now I just really enjoy going to the gym.
I've never heard it conjugated that way, but I think he would approve. So I Pavlov myself as well. I sleep on my couch, which is downstairs. I have a bedroom, which I bought with the house, and it's upstairs and has a bed in it.
Wow.
And I made
Nice.
myself all I had to do was keep the shit I take to sleep at night on my bedside table. I gotta go over to take it, and then I go to bed. Now,
That's smart.
that yeah, I mean, it was an accidental thing. It was just up there one day, and I was like, "Well, I'll be damned."
You're like, oh, this is a good idea. Okay, we'll just keep doing this.
Now when I got it refilled, it's down here in the kitchen again, so I'm sleeping on the couch.
So you can walk upstairs and take it back up there.
But I get the Pavlov. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like after the gym too, I'll make sure that I get food. So that'll help me get through my workout as well. It's like I'm always needing things to like
Hmm.
to keep me moving forward, right? So like if I go to the gym, I get coffee. If I finish my workout and get a really good workout in, I get to go home, shower and eat. And those are kinds of things that like help keep me pushing and keep me to like do those things and continue with the routine because I love coffee. I will find any reason to drink myself a coffee. I reward myself with little treats all the time. I put a check in the mail, I'm getting myself a coffee. Like anything that I can do. It's just how it works for me.
I when I was running, um, and when I walk now, when I'm going out to walk, I will go as far as I can because I know I have to get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you can do it. You're gonna do it.
You're gonna have to because
Exactly.
you're here already and you gotta walk back.
That's exactly right.
Has there
Uh,
ever been a part of you where you've got there and you're like, I'll just Uber?
yes, and I have done that. Yeah, and yeah, because it occurred to me at some point, like it has to everybody. I can do everything from my phone. I mean, you can leave me anywhere with my phone, and I'm all right. I get home. So yeah, I did. I went too far. I took it too far. I
You took
love
it a little too far.
I love Kings Island, and I love Banshee, the ride Banshee.
Did you just say you walked to Kings Island?
No, I love Kings Island.
Oh, I thought you said you walked to Kings Island. I was like, from your house.
Well, I mean, yeah, in miles, but not there. Um, anyway, and so I have this friend, and she says it's a great ride, but they took it too far. And so, yeah, I've done that where I've had a good walk and taken it too far and had to get a lift home, which is a cool conversation with the lift driver.
Yeah.
I
I
got
walked here. From where? Where you're about to drive
it.
me to? No way.
I got in one the other day, and it had 3 rows of seats. And I said to the guy, "Hey, does anyone ever sit back there?" And he's like, "No, my kids once." And I said, "If I give you $20, can I sleep back there? And then whenever you go home, just drop me off. You just drive around, and I'll sleep in the back all day."
What did he say to that?
Sure.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He said, sure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sleep in the back of that man's car while he picks other people up and drops them off?
Yeah.
So did you end up doing it or no?
No, I didn't have $20.
Oh,
You know why?
shame.
Because I had to pay it all in my water bill because I got my water turned off.
That is just the wildest story to me. I can't even believe that.
It's asinine. I don't even
Yeah.
be
Get
jacked off.
your get your water shit together.
Even the person at the water company was like, I have no idea. But
Sorry, my guy, but here's all this money you have to fucking pay.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so should we start with the conversation of our question for the day? Since we've been already going for 20 minutes.
All right. I want to answer the question from last week, though. I have no idea why I didn't think of it right off the spur
Which
of the.
the question from last week was if you could go
Jim-
to a concert of a person you haven't seen yet, who would it be?
Yeah, it would be the Killers. That'd be mine.
That'd be a really good show.
It will
I
be.
would also, that would be my answer too, actually.
Really?
Probably. I love the Killers. I think it'd be a really cool show. It would just be one of those things that it would be like a cool story to tell people. Like these are some people that I were able to see, you know. They're a
Yeah.
really good band, so
Yeah. And either I think you either don't really know the Killers or you fucking love the Killers.
yeah.
Kind of
I would
how.
also say, oh, I can't say Nirvana because they're dead. But well, Kurt Cobain's dead. So I can't necessarily say Nirvana, but that would be a good one.
Well, you see Foo Fighters on July 25th.
Is that when
Next.
you're going?
Mhm.
Nice.
And that's pretty much like Nirvana, only with better music.
Oh, take
You
it back.
like that?
Take it back.
Nope. This is no. I can't say that next Friday because it's your birthday.
That is true. Everybody better come correct. I'm gonna be 29 years old. My solar return. Or my
What? Where's your soul go?
no, it's my Saturn return, not my solar return.
Oh, hey, we have a total solar eclipse coming up.
We have a new moon coming up today, actually, right about in a few more minutes.
You know what?
2:39 is when it's supposed to be at its peak for the new moon. So everybody set your intentions, get your intentions ready. You are a Leo, so it is a very good time for you as being opposed to Aquarius. I'm an
Um,
Aquarius, so the new moon is an Aquarius. We don't have to talk about astrology today. We can move on.
the ironic thing about the new moon is you can't see it. Uh,
Mm.
what about being what are my intentions?
So with a new moons are really great for setting intentions. So, um, it
Which
is
moon
an
is great for setting boundaries? We need that
well, that could be your intention is setting better
one.
boundaries.
Um, so do these intentions, are they supposed to be fulfilled within a month then?
No, essentially, these intentions are going to be, from my understanding, I don't know a lot about it, but this is just from the little minuscule that I've read and understood, is that this new moon sets the tone for the next few years until 2026.
Oh, gosh.
So, the intentions that you're putting into place now, you will see them manifest or come to fruition, or you will see kind of like a repeat of that pattern in 2026. So, for you to be able to look back and see how all of those things have changed. So,
Okay. And I have to do it before 2:39?
no, you can it's the new moon, so you can do it anytime within the next 24 hours. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So
Correct me if
what
I'm wrong, astrology peoples,
what my
because I could be completely off. So,
My brain heard everything you said, and then it heard you say, so you've got 24 hours, and then it automatically deleted everything you said except for the you've got 24 hours part.
Lovely.
This is what it does with everything. Because I'm like, oh, I can do
It's
that later.
amazing. So do I just need to come to you with like everything as if it's
Yeah, pretty
an
much.
urgent thing?
Great idea. Yeah.
Like everything is a house on fire type issue?
Or maybe instead of everybody around me adopting that strategy, I could change something.
Yeah, but you also have ADHD. So there's,
80 what?
I
I
said you
don't,
also have,
I have like 75 of them. Maybe 78.
not 80. I'm operating about like 70, not 80. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm a Brene Brown 71 HD.
All right, let's get into the question for today, which is what is the most rewarding aspect of working in the mental health realm? I will let you answer this one first.
Um, how come I have to go first?
Because I went first last time. I want to give you the mic. Pass it over to you because I've been talking a lot, I feel like.
I don't know what the most rewardable thing is. Is that the word?
Rewardable.
Rewardable thing. Rewarding.
Sorry, guys.
That's what I've come up with so far. Um, and I think, and it may be this. I never would have met the people I get to meet if I didn't have my lived experience and do what I do. And those people are my family, and they mean everything to me. So that's probably the biggest for me.
Nice. It's a good answer. Now let me think of mine. No, I think the biggest was it reward? Was it that?
Rewardable.
Rewardable? The most rewarding aspect of working in the mental health realm.
Oh,
I think the most rewarding aspect for me, I think it's twofold, right? Very selfishly, I'll go into the very like selfish part of me that is rewarded, and that would be that my voice gets to be heard in spaces where it wouldn't necessarily really be heard if I wasn't in this field. And I can use that lived experience to share my story and to fulfill that like inner child need within me to um, be validated and understood and heard.
hang on. All those things are wonderful, but those aren't selfish things.
I mean, I feel like if you're, they feel like it to me, I guess, if you're talking about the most rewarding part of working in mental health. I didn't come into working in mental health to do those things, right? So my voice could be heard.
Yeah,
I did it to help other people.
yeah,
But it just kind of helped me along the way as like, oh, this is a cool other thing.
yeah, and that's great, and I get a whole lot of out of what I do. But it's not being selfish.
Okay. Heard. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
but I would say on the other hand, it would be all of the people that I get to help and all of the change that I see happen in other people. And I think the really cool moments happen when I'm sitting with somebody and I'm either peer supporting them or, we're venting to each other or like whatever, depending on if it's a coworker or somebody that that comes to work. Um, it just when you're having those moments where like you say something that you've experienced, right? Like from a peer supporter perspective, I'm sitting here talking about my lived experience, and then you see the light bulb go off in somebody else's head, and you can see like, oh wow, like I do that too, or like that was my experience too, and you see that brief moment of validation
Hmm.
um in that other person, and that that like mutual like wow, we really see each other, or wow, I really feel seen and heard for the first time, or like what have you, that another person gets to experience.
Hmm.
Um, Being able to experience that with them, or kind of be the catalyst for them making that experience or having that experience or making those realizations, um, I think is really it's a very incredible part of the work that I get to do.
I agree. I was teaching a class for certified peer recovery supporters, and we were done doing the sharing your story part. And one of the ladies in there had never told anything about her story. And she took, 15 minutes and cried through it. And it was really emotional. And she was a victim of trafficking. And never told her coworker who was sitting beside her. And so we broke for lunch, and I, came across the street to our building and grabbed one of my friends who I know had the same experience and brought her across the street. And what those two got over the next hour was more valuable than the 40-hour class
Yeah.
this girl came to. Because all of a sudden, everything that she had carried that was so heavy and so scary and so humiliating, she was looking right in the eyes of somebody else that understood it exactly and was sitting with her.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's such a beautiful moment when that can happen because, you know, a lot of my specific trauma and a lot of my stuff really comes from that not being seen, valued, heard, understood, just constantly over explaining myself, just begging somebody to understand me, begging somebody to hear me, pay attention to me, those kinds of things. And so in those moments where I'm able to make somebody else feel that, seen, that heard, that understood, um, it's a great feeling for both parties, really. It's a mutually beneficial exchange of, empathy. And I think that it's really wonderful. And I think that is probably one of the most rewarding aspects. And two, the advocacy, of course, is like super rewarding for me. Being able to like um share through my story that trauma informed care and looking at trauma at a young age is extremely important. Because though children are extremely resilient, they shouldn't have to be. And
Yep.
though children are extremely resilient, unless you do something about it, it's going to come back later on in life. So I think that type of advocacy work for myself, um, and what I try to push forward and, really, really, really like go to bat for, I think is probably another one for me.
That gets heavy.
Yeah.
That can get heavy. That comes with it comes with a weight.
Yeah. I think all of this really can come with a weight just because of our own wounds, We're not constantly, but like there are situations, hopefully not constantly, but sometimes in some people's case constantly. But there are times in which those wounds that you have personally experienced are open in those kinds of spaces. And as peer supporters and as, people who work in the mental health field, we really have to reel that in. We really, really have to make sure that we're doing our best to show people what recovery looks like and to show that, we can talk about these things and we're on the other side of it. But sometimes in those spaces it can still get really hard and really heavy and like lots of compassion fatigue going on.
Shit,
Um,
man. I'm not on the other side of all that. I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I may be on any given day,
yeah.
but that shit comes back like a storm. I mean, I don't like that doing the best I can mentality. I'm not doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, yeah, I just don't like it when I don't want anyone looking at me for how to do things.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I love facilitating class this morning because I got to tell about what an idiot I am. So did I cut you off again?
No, I was just listening to you very intently. I think that that is a good point. I mean, I think that, for me, I feel in a lot of ways like I am on the other side of a lot of it. Um, I do feel like looking back at the worst I've ever been, I'm definitely way, 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 way farther from there than I am, I think, from feeling fully recovered. And I don't know if that is even a thing that exists. It probably is for some people where they feel fully recovered.
Yeah, it
But I
is.
think that in most people's journeys, well, I can't speak for most people, but I'll speak for my personal opinion, is that recovery is an everyday, ongoing, long-term, lifelong process. And I think that for me, because of the nature of my shit, um, it will definitely be very similar. But I think that the weight that that stuff carries gets lighter over time. I think there will always be I think there will always be a there will probably always be a bit of a sharp pang in my chest when hear certain things, or when my triggers are, reflared, I guess. I don't really know how you would describe that, but
No,
what yeah. Um but I think that, over time they have gotten less and less intense, and I hope to continue that trajectory moving forward.
you will, and you're going to be 29.
Yep.
Remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about, I feel like I've had 4 lifetimes.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've had 4 lifetimes in the past year.
You, you will probably have, those certain pinches that always come up, if you hear a certain thing. But oh my God, I'm very thankful that time does make stuff better. And it sucks in the beginning, and I bitched about that on the podcast before. The data, designed for humans has got some errors in it. But if my wife's grandmother used to say, you just have to wear it out. And you do sometimes. And luckily we can, because we do. We do wear
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I think that is true in some aspects. Um, but in other aspects, there are things that need to be healed and moved through,
Oh, absolutely.
or they will come back with a
Oh
vengeance.
no, yeah.
No,
Wearing
I
it,
I wanted to clarify that for the
yeah,
claps.
sorry. Wearing it out means you got to do the work, but
Yeah.
it's still going to be an amount of time.
Yeah.
It's still going to take some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can speed up the process, but it's a process.
Yeah. And I think it's all individualized too. You, like we always say, not everybody's recovery process is the same. I mean, I've been in therapy since like 2013. And I really don't feel like I've made as much progress than I have since I've been doing like EMDR for the past year. Like it's crazy, like ensuring that you have the right thing that works for you, I think
Mhm.
is really important. And like the EMDR and like the exercise, I think is just like it's a great recipe for me specifically with the things that I deal with and what I struggle with. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting stuff.
And that's really good stuff. But took you a long time to find it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And two, like it's all about, you know, the mental health research as well. If this was me and I was going through the same thing and, it was 20 years earlier, I wouldn't have found these same things because they wouldn't have really existed yet, you know? Because all
True.
the research on CPTSD and EMDR and, all of these things, wasn't necessarily the most popularized or even known about.
Mm-mm. No,
Um,
no, not even defined.
So it's like I was born at the exact right time to fight this generational trauma. I have to be the one in my bloodline to end it all. So I've been tasked with that with that journey, and here I am.
I thought of another answer,
Okay.
and I don't know if I weren't doing this for a living, how I would be, because I didn't live that life. But I am appreciative of the fact that I think that I get to have to do a whole lot more thinking about myself and things that are important, rather than spending 40 hours doing, a process for a job. That's important, but that's not holistically important. This stuff is holistically important, and here's why. I can have conversations with people in my life now that I couldn't have 6 years
Mm.
ago before I started doing this.
Wow.
I can forgive things now that I couldn't forgive 6 years ago.
Wow.
Um, I can connect people where I couldn't see connections before. Um, and so that goes into my personal life, you know, bigly, as they say. I just think I have I'm a lot more introspective than I would have may have been. How about this? I appreciate my introspectivity.
There you go.
It's rewardable.
No, I think that's great. And I think that's a really important point too. Like in the work that we do, not a lot of people get to have that experience, right? Not a lot of people get to learn through other people in this same type of way if they're not necessarily working in this field. I mean, I'm sure those moments probably happen in other fields, but in this field, I feel like it's like, I mean, every month I feel like I figure something new out about myself just because I'm having conversations with people and I'm helping people and they're helping me at the same time. And it's just so cool to see. It is really, really rewarding.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I have another answer.
Okay.
It's not the rewarding part.
Oh, great. Is it the opposite?
I don't know. Um,
Ooh.
I think that part of being introspective, um, means I, oh, how about this? I've learned that I have talents that I did not know I had before I started.
Ooh, okay.
And that's really cool. And I appreciate that very much. And they're good stuff. It's not like invisibility, but
Oh yeah.
um and what the hell was I talking about, Amanda? Oh yeah. So what in in our positions, I don't want to get I don't want this to turn into a new form of institutionalization.
Right.
So that even the people we work with, they know from the very beginning our job is to get rid of them. But us as well, our job, at least my job, needs to be to make sure that I'm in the right place. And that if I'm better or managing myself well enough, maybe I need to at least know if I can go back and do something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saying in order to be that kind of role model to the people that we serve, because that's our goal, right? Is to get them integrated back into the community, to show them that,
Yeah. Right.
whatever that looks like for you, you can go do it.
Yeah.
And so what I'm hearing you say uh,
I like that.
is
Pay
that
attention, guys. That's
what'd you say?
I said pay attention, you guys.
So what I'm hearing you say is that, in order to model that type of behavior, you're feeling like maybe that's something you need to do for yourself as well.
I think I need to at least I either need to make a decision that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Well, maybe it's not either or. Uh Maybe for me, yeah, I need to know.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
I think that's I struggle with something similar too, as being 29. This has been the first time I've actually had like a career. This is where I've learned, you know, a lot about myself in like a really, really rewarding way, but also in a really like humbling way as well. Um, and I think that I'm in like a similar vein as you to I could very well be comfortable potentially doing this forever.
Mhm.
But is that something I want for myself? Do I want to, move forward, move on to show people that, hey, these things are possible, right? That, other things are available to you and this isn't just all that the world is. To do that, to say that for other people and for myself, really, at the core of it, for myself.
Hearing you say that, back what I said, made me think about a little more. And I think a lot of that would go away from me, or at least be appeased, if I felt like I was actually, you know, producing good work. Um, like churning it out.
Yeah.
So maybe
Do you think the nature of what we do is preventing you from doing that? Or
no, I think what's preventing me is me trying to figure out exactly what in the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. All the time, right?
yeah.
So I think I got wrapped around the axle on the big picture and then went, whoa, and try to think of details and they seem overwhelmingly horrible. Like there were billions of them. Um, so I kind of took a step back and said, what's the big picture here? You know, what's the goal? And I think putting some concentrated effort towards that on a daily basis, kind of
Yeah.
like working out on a daily basis and me working out on a daily basis.
Ground
Make
yourself in that
power-
why.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then and get some energy back, you know. I think I let myself get stagnant because I could.
Yeah.
And um
So let me ask you this as an addition.
no question.
Okay, I take it back. Never mind. No, um, when in your life do you feel like you have the most energy and you feel like you are your most authentic self?
Um when I'm playing the piano, when I'm playing pickleball, I know it's ridiculous, but if
Valid answers.
I'm tired or sore or whatever, when I get on the court, it goes away. I can still feel it, but I'm okay. Um, you give me energy. Um, Melissa gives me energy. A couple people. There's somebody else, Ashley. We get energy from my friend Ashley, but she's a vampire too, so it goes. What was your question?
When do you feel like you're your most authentic self and what gives you energy? And I think too, you mentioned last time music as well. Concerts do that for you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that it's about, I mean, at least for me, I can't speak for you, but I think that when I think about those things for myself, what gives me energy, what feels like my most authentic self, I ask myself, is that something that I want to do for a living? Do I want to find a way to monetize those things, or do I want to keep my work life separate from the things that lift me up?
You were talking the big picture. I want to be a stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay. I think that's definitely doable for you. It's never too late.
Were you saying I'm old?
No,
That age out?
no.
Funny? I
I'm saying it's never too late, so you start now.
know. No, it's not. But I want to do that one time.
Okay. I think that and my point to that was just saying is that I think that here, specifically in America, we feel like, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but the rhetoric that I have seen from people, um, is that a lot of times when we have things that lift us up, or we have these hobbies or these things that we love, we feel like we have to monetize them. We feel like that needs to be our thing, and that needs to be the way that we make money, and that needs to be what we like throw our everything into. And that was a lot of my thought process going into this job. Is mental health was something that lifted me up. It was my passion. It was something that, brought life into me. Um, and then very soon I realized that those things were not authentic. That drive and that push was actually a bit of a trauma response. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was born
and
with not authentic. Okay.
yeah. And so, zooming out of the big picture of all these things that I've wanted to do for so long, and the healthier, quote unquote, that I feel like I'm getting, um, the more, like, I'll always be passionate about advocacy regardless.
Hmm.
But the healthier that I get, the less I want to drop everything to help another person, which
Hmm.
is a lot of what I've done for a very long time. And so I'm starting to, try to pour into all these other things that bring my energy, which I'm not even sure what those things are, to be honest. Shows definitely, poetry. I like coloring. I like doing crossword. I like playing solitaire and listening to tarot readings and things like that. All of those things, like, I'm like, how can I monetize these things? How can I find a career that will like help me feel good doing these things, right? But I think sometimes we get too into our heads, and sometimes a job can just be a job, and we have great, wonderful lives outside of that.
Oh, yeah, I think that's most people, aspire to that.
Yeah. And I think that, I run the wheel in my head all the time of I need to love what I do so that I can wake up in the morning and get so excited about going to work and all this kind of stuff when, that doesn't even necessarily have to be the reality.
No, it doesn't. But oh my gosh, I love, being able to go to work. I do. I really do. I'm
Yeah.
very, 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 very lucky I get to go to work. Love it. That's
So
the
why
case.
do you feel like you need to be so why do you feel like you do?
I think it's just me.
Okay.
It's just me. And nobody would ever ask me, none of my friends are going to say, hey, you know, why don't you ever go back or could you or you can't or, um, but those are the kind of questions people ask themselves. So
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay.
Um, and and I get energy from success. That's probably the biggest is,
Okay.
I mean, when something happens, that I've been working on, it's huge. That's a big, big, big deal. That's
See, that's something that I don't have. I don't feel success.
what do you mean?
I don't feel now we're really getting into like the nitty-gritty of our subconscious here. But when I do something and I look around, like the art show that we threw together in a week last year, basically, or in like a couple weeks, and even the one before that, I was running around, blah blah blah, seeing all these cool things happen. It's really great turnout, really great stuff. I didn't feel any of that.
Hmm.
That's not something that I feel. Like I send out a newsletter that like is full of really cool stuff. I don't feel that. Like even from the top tier to the bottom tier, this may be just a personal thing with me and something that I have to work on within myself, but when I won the Rookie of the Year award, all of these things, I didn't feel anything. And I think it is because I have a very distorted relationship to success.
Well,
Because
I don't know because you told a lot of things that you did feel when we started, and none of those were things that I've ever felt. Maybe you just feel things differently.
I mean, that could definitely be true. It's just like maybe I don't feel it in the way that I think that I'm supposed to feel it?
Yeah,
Like I
maybe.
feel like it's supposed to be this like firework of pride in my chest. Like that's how I feel like it's supposed to feel. But instead it just kind of feels like oh great, this is over. I can go on to the next thing.
No, well, now you made me think about what it is that I was saying when I said, I love those things. Um,
Yeah, what does that success and that feeling of success feel like and look like to you?
but it surprised me that you said, quote, I don't feel, because I thought, I don't either. Um, because I don't, it wasn't an idea of I feel good about myself. It was, I get energy from making things happen that have positive impact.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I mean? So no, it's not like I feel good about it. Um,
So you get energy from it. Because I would say I feel the same way, like when an event is happening or when I'm coordinating something or like whatever, and I'm like in the process of like running around and getting things together and getting things done. That's where I thrive. Like
mhm.
when we had people reorganizing their offices, that was prime time for me because I was running up and downstairs, I was getting cords, I was hooking up computers and switching around phones, and that's where I thrive. Like I love keeping my mind busy and doing those kinds of things.
Yeah,
But it's because I can get out of my head
yeah.
and not necessarily because I feel like I'm being successful. I mean, I like helping people out, obviously. It's a nice thing to be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." That it's a nice feeling, but for the most part, it's just so I can keep my mind busy.
Look at that. Yeah, I do.
I don't know, it's just interesting to me because I feel like that pride necessarily I don't have a lot of connection to, like feeling proud of myself. and feeling pride in general, I don't feel like I'm very connected to as an emotion.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that's definitely something I should probably look at, work on, and figure out what's going on there. I mean, I know why, but I would like to feel proud of myself.
I have every belief that having identified something, you've shown that you can work on it till you get
Yeah, that's very true.
it. What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing. I'm under the weather, so I'm probably just gonna spend most of the weekend resting
What's going on?
because next weekend is my birthday.
What are you doing for your birthday?
Probably nothing. I don't really know. I haven't planned anything, so probably nothing. I am taking the day off next Friday, by the way, just to let you know. We can still do the live show,
Okay.
but I'm gonna take the day off and have a self-care day for myself and take myself shopping and get my nails done and just have a nice birthday, get nice coffee and food and just have a me day and pour into myself.
That'll be fun. Will that
Yeah.
be fun?
Yeah, it will. That's what I plan to do for my birthday because um I rely on other people a lot for my birthday to make my birthday special. So instead of doing that this year, I'm just going to have a day where I pour into myself. That way my expectations are low for other people and I've already fulfilled what I need to do for myself.
Basquiat.
The painter?
Yes.
What about him?
Those are the socks you bought me at Jungle Gyms.
Oh, that is right. Cool.
Not produce on aisle 12.
Yeah, they have a really, really cool sock aisle there. That they have a bunch of really cool stuff.
I gotta go there then because I did not know that.
Yeah. They oh my have you ever you've been to Jungle Gyms, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they have how long has it been since you've been there?
Long, long, long time, maybe
Well,
10.
yeah, it's completely different than it used to be back in the day, so
They still have bathrooms that are porta potties?
they do. That is still a staple.
Okay, good. That's funny.
That is funny. We have been going for 56 minutes now, almost
Oh
an
shit,
hour.
that's a
Can you
long
believe
time.
that?
It's too much.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
did you say you're not coming in Monday?
I will be yeah, I should be in Monday as long as I'm feeling better.
Do we have an appointment Monday?
Yes, we do at 9 a.m.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
Yeah. I have no
Oh,
idea what's going to happen with it or anything like that, so we'll see.
oh, it's gonna be good.
Okay. Awesome.
Weekend.
That sounds good. You too, Bill. Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
conversation. I think it was a great one we did today.
I like talking to you, Amanda.